Hey, what's going on? It's Brian Matros with Keeping It Real Estate with Joe and Brian right here all the way from Long Island, New York. If this is your first time checking out the channel and you want to know everything about working, eating, sleeping, living, playing, or just how this whole crazy real estate business process works, even if you're a new agent or one that's been in the game for a while, but want to see a different look on the business, maybe find a little tidbit that you could use, then make sure that you tap that subscribe button right at the bottom along with that bell and share it with every single one of your friends. You'll be notified every time we come out with a brand new video. We honestly get so many people calling us about relocating down here. We absolutely love it. If you're thinking about moving, relocating, or becoming an agent yourself, make sure that you watch these videos and give us a call, shoot us a text, send an email, even send us a pigeon carrier. However you want to get a hold of us, we got your back when it comes down to hearing how the business of real estate is in normal words, real people words, not the salesy words. So if this is something you're looking for, definitely check it out. There's going to be a lot going on, a lot about our lives and everything else. If you're all set, here we go. What's going on, everybody? This is Brian and Joe with Keeping It Real Estate. We are a brand new podcast from a couple of cops. So we set this podcast up so that we could let everybody know, have a little information about the real estate business from a normal type wordage, so it's not sounding like you have no clue what's going on. Plus, we talk about the being a real estate agent, how it is getting into the business, the do's, the don'ts, and what it's really like being a real estate agent. A little bit about me. I have been in the NYPD for almost 15 years. Started doing this 2.5 years ago. Was doing wholesale for about 3 years prior to that. The main reason why I got into it was to have a transition from being a cop into this. Plus, the real estate industry really started to intrigue me a little bit with the whole investment portion of it. When I started to do the real estate end, um, I started to enjoy going out with people and showing them homes and seeing how happy they were when me and my wife first started looking at homes, and seeing we looked at homes for like a year and a half. It was forever. But when we checked out the houses, the agent that we were with was telling us stuff that not every other agent tells them about. The one house was by the supermarket. And he told us it wasn't good because if a flood happens in the supermarket, all the rats and mice are coming over to us. About the termite trails. No other agent told us ever about that. And I like that because it helped us out get into a house that was perfect. The neighborhood is awesome, and it helped us not see him like a salesperson, but more like a friend. And that was the main reason why, one of the reasons why I got into this. I have a big family, 4 kids, 4 beautiful kids. My wife works at Sloan Kettering. And like I said, been a cop for almost 15 years, so the whole bullshit and everything else kind of goes out the door, which not a lot of people like, which I can understand. But this is why we did the podcast, because every other podcast that's kind of out there gives you a lot of fluff and tries to sell you on every single thing and not tell you exactly what it really means and how it really is. And this is why we did this, right?
Yep, pretty much. I'm Joe. So it's pretty much the same situation. I got into real estate actually probably a couple months ago, and prior to this, still doing it. I'm a cop in the city, and the reason I got into it to begin with is I spent a lot of my time. Like I was working very long hours. I was away from home. So I have my wife. I have a daughter. She's going to be a year now. So I spent like a lot of time I was away from her. So I'm trying to do other things, try to provide better for her. But also, we bought this home, same situation. We first time home buyers had no idea about anything with real estate, didn't even know what to look for, nothing. And we jumped in a home a little bit too quick, and we started to see like a little more problems that were definitely avoidable had we like were able to see these things like windows huge. Didn't look at windows. Terrible story. Like I woke up one day when it got really cold. It was like 57 degrees in my house. It was terrible. And the problems in the backyard, things that were avoidable that if someone at least tell me or give me a heads up, I'd be grateful. So this is a podcast that we're actually just try to help the everyday home buyer, um, give anyone advice if they're trying to get into real estate, and pretty much the ins and outs, like the ugly, the good, everything. Um, so yeah, just try to join us on the journey and we'll try to help you guys out.
And keep in mind, this is not going to be for everybody. Like me and Joe, being that we're cops, are very blunt. Like there's really no pussyfooting around what it is because we don't like hearing the bullshit. We could tell whether or not you're being fake or not, and whether or not you're blowing smoke up our ass. And we don't like doing that. So we're very upfront. We're very honest. Um, I do curse a lot. I'll try and curb it a little bit, but it's going to be a fun podcast. It's going to be one that we have a lot of guests on talking about every aspect of the real estate business. We're also going to tell you how it is having two full-time jobs. Like it's not easy, being fathers and being cops and then doing real estate and being husbands. Like this shit is not easy at all. You're pulling yourself in 5,000 directions trying to make everybody happy and having clients and everything else. Like you're all over the place, and it's not easy. And this is what this podcast is for: is to know that there are people out there that are going through the same exact thing that you're going through, and you're not going to get the whole "it's going to be okay" and let me pat you on the ass and I'll hold your hand and just go out there and make calls, sell, and everything else, and you'll figure out later on. Like we're here to help you get through that process, to get through that first sale, to figure out what the hell when your girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up with you, or your husband or wife's being a pain in the ass. Kids are running around like we've had before today already. Like my daughter's already knocking down the Christmas tree. Joe's daughter's got pacifiers thrown everywhere.
I have to keep pacifiers in her crib. I keep like multiple, like 3 or 4, because she always drops them out. So I put multiple ones. Now she got to the point where she knows if I drop all the pacifiers out, I'm gonna come running in to bring them back into the crib. So that's one way to get me in the room. So I run back and forth before.
Mm-hmm. We have like these little bamboo sticks in the house.
Yeah.
She took the bamboo stick because she can't reach the ornaments up top. So my wife goes in and she's smacking the tree to get the ornaments down with the stick.
Okay.
So they're all falling and just breaking.
Nice. I mean, it's a quick way to bring them down.
Yeah, easy.
Or it's a little, just giving you a hint that you need to buy more ornaments.
Yeah, don't leave me alone. That's what she's saying.
But yeah, so pretty much the first topic that we'd like to get into is seasonality. So how do the seasons affect the real estate market? And is it a good time, bad time to buy or sell? So it definitely is concerned. Like you're definitely gonna need a lot more activity in the summertime than you would in the wintertime. I'm sure Brian knows a lot about that. It's definitely a difference.
Yeah, this summer sucked. Yeah. Like it was insane with the amount of open houses, 50, 60 people, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14 offers, houses, $50,000, $60,000 over.
Right. So me and my wife in the beginning of this, we're trying to find a home ourselves. Like, so we live in this home. Our plan was to rent out this home and buy another home to live into. So if you live in the home, you only have to, if you actually are a resident of the home, you have to only put 3.5% down. That's the lowest you can go. So you don't have to do the whole 2025. So that was our plan. So we were going to move into the house. But every house we went to, first off, there was a line down the block. It took me an hour just to get to the house, being online. For a 12 o'clock open house, I didn't get into it 1. It's absolutely terrible. And yeah, bidding was like 40 grand, 50 grand over asking, which if you decide you want to go that hard, you're going to have a problem with the mortgage. So it was a little bit of a headache for me and my wife. So, still looking, see what happens.
I'm sure you're starting to see a lot of those houses come back in the market now.
Yeah, because it's the issue. People, if they'll do 40, 50 grand over asking. But if the house is worth 6, when your mortgage comes out, they'll be like, I'm not giving you a mortgage for $650,000 if the house is worth 600. Doesn't make
And
sense.
then you're getting the appraisals that aren't coming in.
Right.
And then people were like, oh, well, I'll just pay the difference.
Yeah.
So you're paying $30,000, $40,000 under the appraisal price, walking into it with negative equity just because you want to get to the house.
Yeah, and then you got to put down your percentage.
Yeah.
So
You might as well just got $1 million house.
yeah, it got to the point where it's like I couldn't even compete, so I had to like wait. Definitely, you can see though the winter time, it's starting to like slow down a little bit because people at this point are trying. If you're already in the market, you want to sell before like kind of the holidays start kicking off because you know people aren't going to be looking.
Yeah.
I have a couple people that I'm speaking to. They're like, oh yeah, no, we're probably going to wait till after, the holidays, January, February, and then we'll start back up. Which a lot of people have that mindset. So if you're looking to buy, it might not be a terrible idea to start looking in the winter.
Yeah. I was reading something on realtor.com that said that I think it was the median price of the homes between December and February goes down about 6%.
Yeah, that's huge.
So you're waiting you wait that time frame, and you're losing out in 6% because by the time you come back and you're like, all right, now I'll start doing it again, the house has gone up.
Yeah, because also you don't have that much competition either. So that percentage of the drop, now at that point,
Like
you
huge.
have a little bit more of a negotiation with the home buyer. Like
Yeah. Yep. Because they want to get out now. Like if they're selling the house now, they need out.
Right, because even the sellers know, like it's going to be much slower in the winter. So you're right. If someone's actually trying to sell now, there's a good chance of like they got to get out now. So there's a little bit more push. There's definitely a little bit more room for negotiation. But
What's good is that you can walk in instead of now giving an asking price, or you can even go a little bit lower.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's that bubble period right in there, that right there. So you don't have to worry about going in and being like, all right, there's a $500,000 house, I got to bid $560,000.
Yeah, but also like that being said, if you're a buyer looking in like to say like during the winter time, or whatever, you kind of got to be careful like snow. So what happens is, perfect story for me. So this house, one of the issues that we had that we didn't realize till afterwards, that when we first looked at this house, there was a lot of snow on the ground. So the house looked beautiful, but we didn't really walk around the house too much because the weather's bad. And, we didn't want to miss out on the opportunity, so we kind of had to jump on it. So now we have the house, the snow went away. I didn't realize I have a terrible irrigation problem. So the draining in my lawn is absolutely terrible. To the point where like you're walking around. If it rained on Friday and it's now like Sunday, and I'm walking around barefoot in my backyard, water is literally going above my toes as I'm walking.
That's crazy.
And like I gotta still talk to irrigation guys. It might have been the sprinkler, so I had to fix that up. But yeah, something that could have been avoidable if I at least came back to the house after it snowed, or made a point like, all right, or like go to a house. If you like a house, go to the house during like a bad rainstorm or after a rainstorm.
That's a good idea.
Walk around the house. See if there's pooling on the house, because you're not going to see that unless it rained.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good idea.
Just all like pretty much tips of like what to even look for. Definitely don't want to overlook it, because then it'll cost you a lot of money afterwards. But yeah, no, it's pretty much that's the case. Is definitely come back, definitely look at the house. Yes, you're going to be saving money during the wintertime, but also like don't be afraid to walk outside to look around the house, even though it could be cold, it could be raining, it could be snowing. Do you check? Because you save yourself.
How about inside? What do you think you should do inside?
Windows.
Yeah.
I think windows is what I was saying before. Like I learned a tip. So one of the guys was talking to me. They said if you light so if you take a match and light it and put it by the window, if you see the flames start to move, there's like air coming through.
Just don't light anything on fire.
I mean, yeah, don't get close enough to burn the house down, then you're pretty much screwed afterwards. But Do a little bit further from the window. But yeah, that'd be a terrible story. I tried to check the windows, but your house burned down.
Yeah,
But
I accidentally burnt down the curtains.
the windows are good though. The flame didn't. No, but yeah, windows definitely. I had to get all the windows changed in my house because that was another thing I never checked.
Yeah.
You know, it was winter. I didn't realize that like they were blasting the heat. So like we're walking through the open house. It was like, oh, it's really hot. Oh, I guess the boiler's working. And yeah, I mean that was soon to
Had
go
it
out.
cranked up.
The store. Yeah, they had it cranked up because they knew for a fact the windows were blowing in air.
Mm. That's a good tip too. Is check the thermostat when you walk in.
Yeah,
See what it's at.
I didn't even think about it. I remember walking around. I was like, oh, it's hot in here. Oh yeah, it's definitely it's freezing outside.
Yeah.
But it didn't take into
fucking
account that
90
like
degrees.
it's hot because there's no heat keeping in the house.
Yeah. They have
Something is
blasting 90
really
degrees.
blasting.
That's crazy.
What about you? Had any issues when you were buying your house?
My suggestion would be is the same thing with the backyard. Is look and see what the pitch of the backyard is, because technically the agent has to tell you everything with the house and the owners.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is that if nothing really went on with the owners that are there, there's really not a lot they need to tell you. So the problem we had was that we moved into the house, and the owners were teachers. The husband was in Connecticut, the wife was staying here. So we put an offer in the house. We loved the house, got it, and everything else.
Right.
That was 2013. That year, I think it was that year or the year after, we had that like 13 inches in like an hour.
Yeah, I remember that.
Our basement completely flooded out, like a good 5 or 6 inches off the ground, and it was completely like finished. We had everything down here, with everything, storage, the whole 9 yards.
Jeez, what did you do?
It was insane. Like I remember, I think it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I came downstairs. It was like a little wet by the boiler room.
Okay.
So me being an idiot, I'm like, oh, I'll just grab a couple cups and I'll scoop it out and I'll just dump it into the bucket and everything else.
Yeah.
So I start doing that. I go upstairs, I dump it out, I come back down, and it's coming further and further out. I'm like, shit. I was like, what the hell's going on? Next thing I know is that the whole basement just getting flooded out.
Right.
So my wife stayed home. We got a wet vac, and we just started sucking everything up. And
I mean,
it literally,
it's a good pool for your kids.
yeah, dude, it took us
no,
like a good 3 or 4 hours to get all the water up off the carpet. Then we had to rip out the carpet. And it turns out, dude, underneath, they must have had this on like a regular. Underneath, they had plywood, and then what?
Was it rotten? Like mold, like
Portions of it. But what they did is that they put little pieces of wood going across the plywood on top, so it raised it off the ground, so that it could get water underneath, but not actually hit the carpet.
Okay.
So we had the wet vac, dude. I filled up the wet vac, the 6-gallon, 12-gallon, 15-gallon, whatever the hell it is, 6 times.
Jesus.
And then we pulled everything up, threw everything out, paid, I think, to have a French drain put in. It's like $6,000 or $7,000. Had them put it in. Snowed. We got water again. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
So
Turns out, 2 owners prior had a pool, went away, kids had a party, ripped the line. Father got pissed, said, I'm done. Took everything that was in the backyard, threw it into the pool, and just filled it up. So the whole backyard pitched like this towards the house. So, and then on the sides, on the side of the house, all came in towards the house right by the chimney. So all the water was coming in. We had them level everything out. That's how we found the pool. Having level everything out, and it was still coming in from the side. $125. It's all it cost me. A little black garbage bin can, rubber garbage can, a sump pump, and PVC pipe. Dug it out, put it in the back on the side. Nothing at all since then.
Well, now it fills it up and it brings
fills it up and pushes right out to the driveway.
So now that's a perfect story of like checking your house out before getting home, because like
Oh,
Had you
absolutely.
gone when you were raining, you would definitely see the pitch in the
Oh yeah.
house.
Yep. Like we would without it, and it was so. And they had in the back a fence that cut like literally a quarter of the yard off, and they put up a fence and were just dumping everything into the other side because they didn't feel like throwing the grass clippings out. So they were just
Yeah.
weeds like crazy, and we didn't think anything of it. And everything was coming right towards the house. Everything right
How
towards
much?
the house.
So in total, how much did that cost you?
Um, Probably a good 15, 16.
Grand?
15, 16 grand and $125 to fix the problem.
Jesus
Like
Christ.
simple little things that like I learned. I hate manual labor. Hate manual labor.
Okay.
Like I did a heating. I was worked for a heating company before. Pulled out my back. Like I hate manual labor. I'd rather sell, talk, for some reason be a cop, and then
Yeah, throw that in the mix.
yeah. And when I got this house, and we started paying for stuff after that amount, I was like, I'm done. I'm just gonna figure it out on my own. Like I redid the whole basement myself,
Yeah.
put in the electric and everything else. It hasn't burnt down yet, but did everything myself. And dude, can I tell you the electric? I don't know what the hell these dudes were doing back in the 70s and 60s. And no offense to anybody who did electric back then, but this house is a fucking mess. Like,
Yeah,
like
pretty much
you would
upon
think like
necessity.
lines, like this goes to here and then put it on this board, and then this over here goes to this board, and
You ever
it's
tear
like
down the
here,
walls and just see random wires just like sitting there that do nothing?
yeah, like everywhere.
I have a
And
lot of
like,
wires. So I was doing the same thing when I was doing the basement construction downstairs. So my wife comes up to me. She's like, "Oh, I think it's a great idea if we fix the basement up." So I think I'm like, "All right, well." She uses we, but really in reality, it's me.
it's you.
So she's like, "Yeah, we should do it." I'm like, "Okay, let's get to it." Bro, so we had the plywood, like the ply walls,
Mhm.
what's it called? The
Drywall,
like the wood paneling.
the wood paneling.
Yeah, so I take the wood paneling off, and behind the wood panels, it's like random wires. But like so I had my buddy who's a contractor come by. He likes playing with the wires, whatever it is, and like it's like some of them don't even have power going to them, so it's
Yeah,
just big
yeah.
wires. So I was playing around with it. I mean, I'd do my fair share, but electric I try not to fuck with because it'll fuck right back. I've gotten
What?
shocked a couple times thinking that
Yeah.
power was off. I got my power off my house once. I thought it was like the stupid like little exhaust fan. So I'm like, oh, all you have to do is snip the wire and that's it. Electric's done. I didn't think shut the power off, idiot. So I snipped the wire, giant pop, house went black. I'm like,
Oh
well,
shit.
this sucks. I don't know what to do. So I had to call my buddy. He's like, yeah, just shut the power off, connect the wires, and just leave it till he gets there.
That's
Because
crazy.
yeah, electric I don't mess with.
That's funny that you say like there's this random wires and some not connected, some are connected. Like half my son's room doesn't work.
Yeah,
I don't know
really?
why. Yeah.
Well,
So I
if
got
it's dark.
two walls that could work. That's it.
So you put like the bed on that side.
That's
Against the
that's what we
wall.
had to do. Bed's on one side, and then he's got like his TV on the other side, and then you can't put anything on one wall because it's the switch,
Okay.
so everything would just turn off. And you got like extension cords coming from here to here, and I'm gonna go over here to
Well,
here.
like they shut the lights off, the TV goes off.
If you put it on the other wall, there's only one outlet that you could use to put everything else on. Or
Okay.
else if you turn on the switch on and off, everything goes off. It's a
Well,
mess.
that sucks.
It's a mess.
That's something that has to be fixed.
I don't know. Like I guess you would have to rip all the wall, like the walls and the wires out.
Yeah, they had this house was the same thing. They didn't have like one light, so like the switch worked like one outlet. So I got the electrician coming. It wasn't crazy expensive to do, but that being said, the walls were like open, so like, it was a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
But he ran the wire to the top, and like separated that outlet because that's the only thing you have to do is like separate that outlet.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, that was an issue because we had that. So there was a lot of work we had to do to the house. We didn't really think about it. Again, if someone at least who owned a home or did this walked us through the house when we first were looking, love my house now, but it was a lot of work that we had to put into the house to actually do it.
Yeah.
So if someone was to actually walk me through it,
Yeah. This is definitely another topic for like why you need an agent who kind of knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
To walk you through and see this stuff. Because if you never own a house before, you have no clue.
No, like listen, your parents want to come through. Everyone has that, knows a lot of stuff. That just wants to give advice.
Oh, absolutely.
Bring them along.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I don't care if you choose your ear off. Bring them along because he's going to help you out.
Yep.
Just bring someone along with you. Don't go by yourself. Look at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're going to be mesmerized by like, oh, it's our first home. This looks beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It's great living here. We have a park across the street. So like, we had the park across the street, but we were so focused on, oh, it's amazing. When we have kids, the kids are going to go across the street and look at the house. So we always joke around like we bought the park rather than the house.
Yeah. Yep.
We got this.
Yep. That's what we were doing. We started looking for houses now, and we would only look at the backyards before we go to the house on the pictures. Not even like really looking at the inside. And every house we went to, we're like, we don't like this. But the backyard was insane. But,
yeah, well, you have to make sure you focus on the backyard. I mean, if you had that headache with the basement.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not doing that again.
You're going to houses now with a ruler.
Yeah.
Just measuring the whole floor and everything.
I have the kids bring a ball, and I'm like, just roll it across and see if it rolls
just
back.
play in the backyard. Tell me if there's a pitch problem. Yeah, I'll have Stella kicking the soccer ball in another year or so.
Yeah. Yep. It should be cute. I love when they go to their first soccer games.
Yeah.
And it's just all 6 of them just go from here to here to here to here together.
Yeah, they're just literally just running around the ball. I mean, I still gotta wait. She's we have her in the walker right now, so she's she's running back and forth.
Yeah.
But now she's starting to like touch the cabinets, so I really have to like start baby proofing this place.
Yeah. Yeah, Emmy's all over.
What happened?
Emmy's like the other kids was so much easier, and she's very sweet, but she's in that I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah.
So if I want to eat this apple, I'm gonna eat this apple. I feel like having 3 bites of this apple, and then I don't want this anymore. I go put this back. I'm gonna have 2 bites of this apple, and then I don't want this anymore. I go put this one back.
Yeah, because everyone knows the first 3 bites are the best.
Yeah.
We're gonna eat the rest. She's one level up from everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, I only need a couple bites. I'm not that hungry. I'm good. 3 bites, good.
It's good. You teach her. Have more options. Don't just stick to one and stay with it. Yeah, Stella right now she's I guess forced to eat whatever I'm feeding her, whatever like the mashed up food. Bro, my wife brings home like the chicken, like the mashed up chicken, for her, like in the puree.
Oh yeah.
Ugh. I was like, we'll just give her fruit and vegetables and wait till she has teeth, and then we can give her some meat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually doing this right now while she's sleeping. So that's pretty much how I've been doing it. Every time with like how I'm like juggling the real estate, it's so at night I go to work. I go into the city. But in the morning is when I get my phone calls done. When she's drinking a bottle, I'll start jumping on. I'll start calling my clients. I'll try to see, I'll start really doing the work. And then when she falls asleep, now I actually talk on the phone. I could start, a little more freedom until she wakes up. And that's pretty much how I'm juggling it.
It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for now.
Duct tape the kids to the wall.
What happened?
I just duct tape the kids to the wall.
It's good.
They don't go anywhere.
Tie them up, keep them in the room, bring them back after like an hour.
Yeah.
Just throw some food, put the TV on.
Yep.
I mean, your son's going to get the light, and obviously the TV is going to be on at the same time. But just keep them in there, put them in like the bed. It's fun.
It's better than that video where the guy sets up the fan. He flips a switch for it to spin, and the light starts turning instead of the fan. You never seen that video?
No.
You gotta look it up.
So she turns the light on, and the light starts turning. Like
the light turns instead of the actual fan.
All right. Well, then something definitely got crossed. Yeah, the electrical work, you definitely don't want to go through it.
Yeah.
Definitely hire a professional for that, because Unless you know what you're doing, like change some outlets, watch him when he's first doing it.
Yeah.
But other than that, take a step back and try to figure out exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, it's not that hard. I did all the wiring down here.
Mm-hmm.
I got it checked out by electrician that was a friend of ours.
You did it yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. You
YouTube's
like
a
on
great thing.
YouTube the whole time? Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube
Great
helps.
thing.
I
It
pretty
really
much
does.
I used my whole basement I did through YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad knew like sheetrock and like spackle, so like I picked up that off him. But yeah, YouTube the rest. Everything's YouTube. It's your
And I
best
mean,
friend.
it came out good. It definitely looks like a YouTube basement
Mm-hmm.
because the first time doing any of this stuff ever. Like I did the sheetrock on the ceilings, so trying to hold that up,
Yeah.
and sheetrock and everything else like that. So it's not bad for like the first time.
All right, there you go.
Not bad. It works.
But when I first bought this, I used to hate going to Home Depot. My dad used to bring us around. And I was like, all right, we're going to Home Depot. And I walk there and I'd be miserable walk through the house. It's my favorite store now.
Oh, it's like Candyland.
I literally go there and I'm like, it's like me going to the grocery store. I'm going from aisle to aisle. I might just go for one thing. I'm literally going aisle to aisle and just picking up random stuff. I go for doorknobs. I come back with electrical wire. I'm like, yeah, eventually I'm going to do it.
Like I need this. I'm gonna need 4,000 zip ties.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. I come back with paint, air stone, like stone wool. I'm like, what are you? Okay. Eventually we're going to be doing this work.
Yeah.
We got to
At
do it.
some point.
Well, I had to do like my credit card statement. And I'm like, I like going through it, trying to see like, pretty much keeping a budget. And I didn't realize how much things I'm buying at Home Depot. I'm literally going through the list. It's like Home Depot groceries, Home Depot, Walgreens, Home Depot, Home Depot, Home Depot.
Deal.
Yeah,
See, my problem is Amazon.
but
Like
they make it too convenient.
I know, like it's that one of those like, oh, I don't have any pens. Well, I need like 400, so I'm gonna order 400 pens now, or order
Well,
like little things that come into your head, and just go, I'll just order this and I'll return it later. Get this,
my
I
wife
forgot.
goes on like a spree like that. She goes on Amazon, she's buying everything. Like things that we like, the smallest things like it really didn't need, she's buying it. She bought a waffle maker. Like, when do we make waffles? We never do. We have it. It's literally under our cabinet. And we never do it. We never even touch it.
Just in case.
Same thing. She has
That
my
one friend that comes over that's like, I want a waffle. I feel like a waffle.
Yeah,
Just
got you. We actually bought this specifically for you, waiting for you to come here like a month ago. We knew it was happening.
I'm waiting 4.5 years for you to come and just ask for this one waffle.
Yeah, I got the syrup too. Don't worry about it. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I mean, little by little, but everything comes along. To be honest, like now, I like joking around about it after the fact, but with everything in the house, everything comes around.
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad.
Like you were saying before with the whole trying to figure it out, like it definitely gets tough. So I know even on my end, with the kids coming home in the middle of the day, we have Emmy, it's like you, and then with me being off and my wife working, and then my wife working, me being off, like it's tough. Like it's there's been times where I brought Emmy, and like on my other YouTube channel, like they have a couple videos of me and Emmy doing like stuff. Like she's like the little real estate agent. I could order like a little suit. She comes out in like a little dress when we go during the summer.
So what's funny is that when we were looking for a house in the summertime, Brian was our agent. This is before I even had my license. So Brian would pull up to the house, walk into the house wherever it was, and we would walk back to his car, come back. And I didn't realize till like his kids are actually in the car. Just like all with the iPads, all just pretty much just hanging out. And I was like, wow, this guy brings his kids everywhere.
I got him.
Like, and he's coming from all the way out east. So he had to like bring his kids. Like, you had to make it work. Which,
Yeah, you do.
We respected it. Like, you had to make it work. Like, in order to do it, you had to bring his kids along. But in between showings, you would go like, you would get lunch for them, go like get ice cream and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta make it because they've been on a few of them, and they go out there and the troopers is right after school picking them up or whatever it is, and
Because at this point,
Now he's got your house.
his daughter's holding the clipboard now. He actually walks me through the house.
She's checking
Yeah,
it off.
his whole system set up. It's actually pretty amazing. You know, one kid opens the door. You know, he's the little doorman walking in.
Yep.
She shows around. The other one does appraisals. It's pretty crazy.
She hands out the cards.
Yeah. You have a pretty good system set up. I have a couple more kids do that, so I just start training Stella now. Like, Stella, you're not living here for free. All right? You gotta make sure to work.
Everybody's got to pay the rent. Let's go.
You're 1 year old, doesn't matter. Use that cute face, get some clients.
When I was 1, I was walking up and down hills, left and right, in the snow, selling.
Yeah, pretty much. I would do my walks. So right now I'm walking through like the neighborhood, and I got like the door knockers. So I would literally walk with Stella, go to the house, drop a door knock, go off, keep going. And I did that for like a couple weeks straight. It was pretty funny. So like I called this one lady's house. And she's like, "Aren't you the guy that came with their daughter to my house?" I was like, yeah, that was me. Sorry. But like, yeah, you had to make it work.
She say anything about that?
No, she actually liked it even more.
They think it's
honestly, your kid's an icebreaker. You're not that creep who's coming up to the house, be like, "Hey, can I sell your home?
Yeah,
you got a home for sale?" You know, like now it's like, oh, for the first thing is like, "Oh my God, you have a daughter! It's so beautiful. Yeah. You know, she's so gorgeous. What's her name?" And like, there's the icebreaker. Not saying to use your kid for it, but
use a kid for it.
But use your kid for it.
Use a kid for it.
It actually is pretty good. Like, let's say if you're out already and you have your daughter, just do it or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's the hurt? You know?
Yeah, it definitely works.
You got literally in this thing, like being a father, working multiple jobs, you got to make it work. You have to know how to multitask. You got to kind of like time block. You got to like kind of set up a time. Like, all right, listen, I'm gonna wake up at this time. At 9 o'clock, I gotta start this. 10 o'clock, I start walking around. 11 o'clock, I got a call. You know, time blocking is definitely important, and multitasking. Because on that, you're not getting it done. Riley, you definitely agree with that.
Oh yeah, this is your business. You know, it's your business. You got to make it work.
Right. Like what you put into it. Like if anyone's interested in being a realtor or whatever it is, what you put into it, what you get. So if you're one of those guys like, if something comes, they come. You might get something, but you're gonna be waiting a little bit. You know what I mean? You're not. It's not gonna be. You know, you pretty much got to make your business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely got to work with it. You know, it comes in time. Like when I first started, I'm like a sponge. I just want to learn everything about it. Like even before I really got into real estate, I was reading books. I was reading investment books because like my mentality at first was I want to like buy and rent properties. Like that's my long-term goal. Like that's what I'm working for. I'm still reading about it. I'm doing a lot of my research. And it got to the point where like, all right, I have to do something. I can't just sit here and just read a book. You know, so I got into real estate. I started taking the test. It was easy. You just gotta stick with it. So I would go to work. I would study on my time, my off time. I study here, and then I got my license. And my mentality was I'm gonna make connections. The amount of like lawyers I've met, mortgage consultants, loan officers, learned like the ins and outs of everything. Like you really get in touch with that once you step through the door. And by knowing all that, you can actually help other people. So it's
networking is key. Key. Like you gotta network like crazy, especially in this business. If you don't know who you're talking to, who's gonna be able to give you a name somewhere, just getting your name out there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all about that.
You can't be afraid to talk to anybody. Just jump into it. Because honestly, if they don't want to talk to you, if they're rude or anything, you don't want to talk to them anyway.
No.
On to the next guy.
You don't want to deal with that bullshit.
You know what I mean? Pick their brain. If someone comes to me like, "Hey, Joe, can I pick your brain for a little bit? Can I call you?" Sure. No problem. But then you get those people like, no, I don't want to waste my time. Then you know what? They're not worth your time. That's not someone you want to listen to. Because people who want to help, I found like a lot more, you know, a lot more willing to help you out, and that you actually learn a lot more from them.
Yeah.
People that I've spoken to, they've been doing nothing to help you.
Yep.
Again, you got to honestly, you got a jerk who's gonna be a jerk and not be like, not try to help you out, try to feel like his time's too like precious. Like, all right, got you, no problem. You don't want to waste time.
Yep. Absolutely.
Don't be afraid to like talk to someone, pick their brain, because you know what? Honestly, you'll never know until you reach out to them. And that goes the same thing when it comes to clients. How are you supposed to know if someone's selling the home if you don't ask them? Or how are you supposed to know if someone's even looking if you didn't bring it up?
Yeah.
Because if you end up being too nervous to talk about it, then how are you ever supposed to know?
Yep.
I'm not saying go out there and be like, are you buying? You selling? You looking at? What are you doing right now? Like, make conversation.
It's all it's about. It's conversations.
Talk, be friendly, meet friends. I mean, that's what I really like about this, like doing this, is that I'm meeting a lot of people. And like just talking to people, and I'm actually meeting a lot of awesome people that, I can be friends with. Just you can reach out to them. Hey, how you doing, man? What's up, brother? That's I'm a social butterfly. Gotta spread my wings. Peacock, you let me fly. But yeah, that's pretty much about me.
No, all good things. Yes, you're right. It's all about talking to people, and you've only been doing the business for a few months. You know all this already, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, definitely it's slow in the beginning because you gotta start, letting everyone know. Like when I first was doing it, people were like, "Wait, you're not a cop anymore?" I'm like, I am.
Yeah,
doing it on the side. I had to like explain it to everybody. I was like, no, I'm doing this, on the side and trying to like, make something work. Just let me know.
It's like the oddest thing. Like to have two careers. I got the same shit.
Yeah.
So you stop being
cop. He got out of the job. Good for him.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Still here.
No. Yep, still doing it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still doing it.
And there's a lot. Like I'm starting to find a lot of cops that that are doing real estate. You do get the whole pandemic. I want to make a ton. Real estate agents
work for you. Being affected your home. A lot of people are home trying to figure out what other jobs they could do. Actually, a lot of people are trying to get into like other things because they realize what it is. So I have a bunch of friends that ended up staying home because of the whole COVID thing. So they work from home. And now once it came down to like them being like, all right, well, you can come back to the office. They're like, I don't want to come back to an office. I love working from home.
And no one wants to.
So now everyone's trying to find things that they can work from home to do.
Mm-hmm.
Which
this is it.
You definitely do it.
Yeah, this is it.
Obviously you gotta go out, you gotta, eventually, do showings and listing appointments and all that stuff. But for the most part, your days at home. You have to spend as much time as you want with your kid.
Absolutely. You make your own schedules.
Right. Make it work for you. You set up your appointment, time blocking. That's what I was saying before.
Yeah, it's
definitely worth it.
And it's a business. Like you gotta work your business. It's not like something that, because you do get a lot of the guys that came on that got their real estate license and were like, oh, I'm gonna do 5 million deals in the first year and sit here and just wait for everybody to call me.
It's not gonna happen.
Never rings. It doesn't happen. But all of a sudden they're like, I don't know what's going on. This business sucks. It doesn't work. This, and that, and everything else.
You gotta get
works. Definitely works. You gotta work it.
That's one thing. You gotta give it time. You gotta put the effort in it. And that's one thing. If you're gonna come onto this job and expect that your sales are just gonna come to you, like yes, you might have people that or cousins or family, because that's your sphere of influence. A lot of your clientele in the beginning are gonna be people are gonna be your friends who are looking. They're gonna be your family members that are looking or selling. But if you're just hoping or banking on that, you're gonna have a rough go. Like you're literally there's so much of a bigger ocean out there to like get from. You're literally gonna go from a little like
Mm-hmm.
it's a good metaphor, but fish in the ocean, right, or the lake. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean.
Where are
Like,
you gonna go with that? And I was like, all right.
yeah, I'm trying to come up with something that really wasn't working out. Yeah, and if you're only going to focus on that little like group, then you're really not going to be. You're going to be waiting forever. Yes, you're going to get set. You're going to get deals, but if you want to make it your business, it's not going to be so great.
Yep.
Unless you have family members that are like buying and selling every day, I think you're all right. But
Yeah, then you're good.
I don't have that. Brian
Me
doesn't
neither.
have that.
Me neither.
So we're out there.
All right. Well,
Good,
I
yeah.
think that about wraps it up.
Yeah.
So this has been the first podcast that we've had. It's been kind of all over the place, but
little bit.
learned a little bit about being an agent, what to do, about us, how we had cops before, and then our families and everything else, and buying. And we'll get a little into probably the selling point of the season thing with the winter and everything in the next episode. But we're definitely gonna have more guests on that are mortgage agents, lawyers. We're gonna have the inspection guys come on.
Yeah.
We have a couple of
Guys do
yeah,
appraisals, give you
mhm,
like the ins and outs.
yep,
So that's pretty much what I want to do. Just as our first one, give you guys a sense of who we are, give a sense of what we're going to be talking about, and try to help each other out.
mhm.
So that's what we're here.
So there'll definitely be more episodes to come, more interviews, more honed down. A little better than the first one. As you can see, we were both a little nervous in the first episode, but I think we did good. So please subscribe, like, hit the little bell thing on the bottom so you'll be alerted to the more episodes that we got coming out. If you guys ever need anything or have any other questions, right at the bottom of the descriptions are phone numbers and emails. You can go to the website also and email us. We will be on nonstop chat and everything. Also would appreciate if anybody was to go on the emails or text us or anything about topics that you want to find out about. Comments, how we did and everything else, anything podcast that you listen
If you have any crazy stories about when you bought your home, if you
yeah.
have any advice that you guys have that we don't have, just set it. We'll give you a shout out.
We want this to be more of a everybody.
Yeah.
I think we want everybody to know, but we want everybody's story to kind of come out on this. Not just the informational, here's your stuff and that's it. See you later. Go to buy my book type thing. Like go on everybody's story idea so everybody knows.
Like we told up our issues when we bought our home. Like I have multiple others that will come out later on, like stories. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Because I hope my story helps you guys. And same with Ryan.
Thank you very much. Again, please like, share it, subscribe, and let us know. Send us an email. Let us know how everything went. Have a good one, guys.
See you.